Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. Got a little something different, as you can see on the screen. We are currently, as right of this second, drafting in the $500,000 Fantasy Football Championship. This is actually on RT Sports, which is the rtsports.com is the website, but the company name is Real Time Fantasy Sports. So you can go to RT Sports and you can enter this. You won't be in the same league with me, of course, because I'm drafting it right now. This is a recorded video. But yeah, so essentially you're for the majority of the season, you're versing just 11 other people. As you can see, kind of on the draft board, there's 11 other people. I don't know who anybody else is in this draft, but I'm playing against 11 other people. Depending on what you do in the first, I think it's 13 or 14 weeks of the season, the first 13 weeks, that's when you determine are you the league champ or you the runner-up. Now, based on your scoring and everything else, what's going to happen is it's going to put all of the top scores and the top records into a pool together, and then your average score for the first 13 weeks that kind of gets that's your starting base. So let's say your average score is like 120 points or whatever from all of the first 13 weeks, and that's your score. And then what they do is they add what's your total score for week 14 or week 15 or week 16, and every single week people drop off out of this fantasy championship tier, and you want to kind of be, of course, at the top because, as you see clearly, by the top of this, you get $500,000. That's not a prize pool. That's the first place prize. So I've been doing this on rtsports.com for, I don't know, I want to say 3 or 4 years now. My best finish, and this is out of thousands of rosters, my best finish to date, I think, is 50th overall, which won me, I don't know, and I think total is like just about $2,000. So to enter this, it's a $300 entry fee. The league prizes that pay out before you even get put into the championship tier, the league prizes that pay out is $1,600, and so majority of everything, of course, goes to that $500,000 grand prize. The fact that it's on pick, what is this? 6, and Tyreek Hill's still on the board is kind of crazy. But I know he's not going to make it to me. So my pick right now, if you see on the bottom right of the screen, it says Player Pro. It cuts off PlayerProps.ai. So I am the 11th pick, so I kind of have a good back-to-back at the end of that first round and in the beginning of the second round. But something strategy-wise, the main purpose of you entering this type of contest is you want to win the $500,000. It doesn't matter if you win the league, it's if you win the $500,000. So you need to pay attention to favorable playoff matchups. So I have like the entire, week 13, week 14, week 15, week 16. I have all of that stuff pulled up, week 17, to see, okay, who's got the most favorable matchups in those weeks to essentially catapult me to the $500,000 prize. Now, this entire draft, you're not going to be watching this video, and it's not going to be every single pick and then my picks and then every single pick. So you'll see in a second, as it's going to be spliced up here, is we're going to just cut in between our picks. I'm just blabbing here to get to my first pick, but and then every other pick will kind of be edited in the video, so you're not watching however many minutes it takes to get back to me, since I am at the end of the line here.
A few moments later.
I mean, pretty much after James Cook, I mean, Rashad White gets a lot of receptions, but there's a big drop off at running back, and there's only been only 2 running backs have been taken because everybody's going to receiver because it's a PPR league. So what I want to do is, I think I'm going to focus on maybe even doing running back, because I know the people that have already taken receivers, they're going to want to look for running backs here. Let's look at like Jamar Gibbs, dealing with some hamstring stuff. Jamar Gibbs. Puka Nakua. Maybe I'll do receiver running back here because there's a lot of running backs I can take. So I'm gonna go Puka because he's a reception hog, and then we'll get Jamar Gibbs if he's not taken with the next pick. I was thinking about doing running back, but for how many receptions? What is he? Puka averaged what, like 10 receptions a game? It seemed like coming out of nowhere and just destroying the rookie receiving records. So yeah, we'll keep it going here before our next pick, and then what you're going to see on this video is we're going to cut. Okay, so Taylor's gone. If Gibbs is available, we're going to go Gibbs here. I don't think this guy's going to go back to back running back. But if he does, he does. But we're going to go Gibbs if he's available. All right, pick your guy, my guy. This guy's thinking about it a lot, milking that clock. Nah, of course. Of course. Of course he takes Gibbs. So he does go running back. So I have to get a running back here. Go Saquon. I really wanted Gibbs there. I feel like we gotta go Saquon here. Yeah, because they're gonna be the Eagles are gonna be leading a lot of their games, and he also is a pass catching back. Yeah, I'm gonna go Saquon. I like how the alarm went off to let me know, hey, hurry up. All right, so we got our first two picks there. Puka Nacua and Saquon Barkley. A 10 reception a game receiver and a potential 100-yard a game running back. All right, so I'm up again. Long time no see. I know I mentioned this before that I'm kind of targeting people that are going to have great matchups for weeks 14, 15, 16, and 17 because that's how you win the $500,000 prize here. So Saquon Barkley is actually the fifth, or Philadelphia has the fifth best running back, and I've added my queue here some other ones. I think Seattle has the third best running back schedule for the playoffs, so I think I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker here. And then if the crazy circumstance that Alvin Kamara is available on the kickback, we can get him as well. We also have James Conner to look at too. And that'll be literally three solid running backs. We can just start targeting on receivers from there on out. Hopefully it makes sense to you, but we're going to go with Kenneth Walker here. Great playoff matchup. Weeks 14, 15, 16, 17. Seattle has the third best running back schedule. And Philly is 5. So I have 2 of the top 5 playoff running backs based on strength of schedule. And this, I mean, all this can change. Like, people can have amazing defenses, amazing run defenses. Okay, so he got Deebo Samuel and Jalen Waddle. Let's see here. I can stack Jalen Hurts with Saquon, but I don't think we need to do that right now. I'm going to short my running backs, and there's also a flex spot here. And you want to make sure as well that if you're doing 3 running backs at the first 4 picks that you don't have overlapping bye weeks, which you don't, because Saquon's 5, Kenneth's 10, and then Kamara is 12. So yeah, we're going to do that. All right. Well, we'll see when the draft comes back around the other way. I guess that's the benefit of being at the end. You don't have to wait too long in between 2 picks, but once you do those 2, it'll take a long time. And we're back. So while we're waiting on our next pick here, we don't know how long this guy's going to take. In the 27 seconds he has left, but during the picks, All right, so he went with Swift there. So during the picks, what I did is I tried to figure out a master plan. Again, focusing my sole goal of this league is to win the $500,000. So it's like, okay, what's the best possible thing I can do with researching of who's got the most favorable matchups, which we've already kind of been doing with we got Seattle's running back, we got Philadelphia's running back. These are high ranked for strength of schedule or for best strength of schedule or whatever for running backs. So anyway, long story short, I think if I can get Dak Prescott as my QB and not Brock Bowers, Jake Ferguson as my tight end, that Dallas stack, Dallas has the most favorable playoff schedule for 14 to 17. However, this is too much of a reach for any of them. Jacksonville has the 10th best receiving strength of schedule for the fantasy playoffs. So of course I'm going with reception hog here, Christian Kirk, and then probably going with just to make sure we do not get him. We're gonna get I think we're gonna go with Dak Prescott on the way up. So he's the third in terms of these rankings anyway. He's the third there, but we don't want to have a quarterback run in the however many picks. Okay, CJ Stroud just got taken, so now Dak Prescott's the second best quarterback on these rankings left. And so we don't want to have a quarterback run. We're not part of it, so we're going to go ahead and start the quarterback run. Dak Prescott is the most favorable quarterback schedule for the fantasy playoffs, and we are going for that $500,000 prize. So Dak is the guy for this season. Lock him in. I like it. Also, if you were actually watching this for the first time and you aren't familiar with PlayerProps.ai, if you're doing any kind of player props, whether it's on the sportsbook or the prop apps, or RT Sports for that matter, make sure that you create at minimum a free account. Download the free PlayerProps.ai app, create a free PlayerProps.ai account, and then it's also recommended to get in the free PlayerProps.ai Discord, where thousands and tens of thousands of people talk with each other 24/7, 365 to find the most optimal plays using the data and the projections PlayerProps.ai app has. We're going to have college football, of course, NFL. We already have WNBA, MLB. There's a lot of cool features coming out after the recording of this video. Who knows, by the time you watch it, it might already be out by then. But yeah, make sure that you download it if you don't have it yet. Because if you're taking anything seriously when it comes to NFL, fantasy football, and player props, you're going to want to have this app on your phone. So make sure you do that. You just go to search PlayerProps.ai in the App Store, or just open your web browser on your phone and type in PlayerProps.ai/app. APP. All right, let's see where we're going to be going here. All right, back again for some more picks here. So our Dallas stack did not work out. Jake Ferguson was selected above a lot of other tight ends, which I didn't see coming. So now we're kind of looking to see what we want to do here. Nothing really pops out as something we want to draft based on the playoffs. That wouldn't be a reach anyway. So I'm looking at adding another receiver here. DeAndre Hopkins is still available. I think Tennessee's going to have a better passing game with the departure of Derrick Henry. And DeAndre Hopkins, I'm just looking at some stuff here. He led the entire league in air yards. And they just added Calvin Ridley, so I think that's actually better for him because, I mean, he'll just get open more because Calvin Ridley's a great receiver. So having those two guys, I think, I mean, he's probably not going to have the same 28% target share, but I still think he's going to have a great week overall, or great season overall, I mean. So I'm going to go with D-Hop here. I was considering Deontay Johnson, but I just can't trust. What's his face? I can't trust him so much I can't remember his name. Bryce Young. I can't trust him where I don't even remember his name. So what are we gonna look at here for the next pick? So believe it or not, so I told you Dak Prescott had the most favorable playoff schedule. Giants quarterback. So this is not just Daniel Jones, but just in general, based on the defenses they're versing, Giants have the second best QB, the number one best receiver schedule, and the fifth best tight end schedule. So I have Robinson and Bellinger added here. They're not going to need to get picked for a long time, but I just want to put it in there just when I see them creeping up, I can start looking at them. They have a very favorable schedule. Let's see, what were we looking at for this next pick here? Do we want to go with Deontay Johnson? I mean, I wouldn't got him on the first pick, but let's see. Let me look at what is. I feel like the Panthers are going to be losing often. Adam Thielen was receiver 25 in that offense overall this season. I think based on the fact that they're going to be losing every single game, I feel like this might be a good. I mean, all they're going to be doing is passing. They're going to lose. They're going to be trailing every single game. So you want to have the best receiver on that team, right? All right, so we have 4 receivers, 3 running backs. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers, 1, 2, 3 running backs. We got our quarterback. So right now, I think on the next come around, we're going to be looking at a tight end. I'm sure Njoku's going to be gone, but maybe so Brock Bowers. The reason I have him on my queue is because he has a very favorable playoff schedule, and so if he becomes like a legit receiving target for Las Vegas with a good old Gardner Minshew Mania, then he's something else I'm looking at. And then Bellinger's not like till way down here, but I don't want Bellinger to be my starting tight end. I think he'll just be a bench tight end. So yeah, we'll look at tight end. We'll see who's available out of this list when it comes back around here. But yeah, we'll see you when it comes back around. All right, back again for some more picks here. I just realized in the rankings for this, the kickers are really high. Like the 5th best person left is a Dallas kicker. So I don't think these guys are going to be picking kickers or not, this early. But I was doing some more rankings and stuff. I just realized that Brandon Cooks of Dallas is still available, but he is not. This is not the point to pick him right here. But that'll help me with my Dak Prescott stack that I was looking for with Jake Ferguson earlier. But for here, I think we might go Cortland Sutton here. I think that Bo Nix is going to be a lot more legit than people think he is. And in that case, you want to have the best receiver on that. If Bo Nix is somebody that kicks butt, so we're going to go him, and then we'll go probably. Let's see who else. So we got 2 receivers on our bench right now. We still need to get a tight end. The tight ends I was targeting were already gone, that's why I didn't get one right here. But I think I mean, I don't want to do I don't like getting multiple skill positions of the same team, so I don't want to go like Dallas because we already have Saquon. How long is TJ out? Oh, he's gonna have a quarterback. His quarterback's dead. Maybe we go Freiermuth, I think, is a sleeper this year. This team's going to be losing a lot. It's going to be passing often. But I don't want to reach. I feel like it's a reach at this point for him at this spot here. I don't want to get a kicker. It's too early. But is it too early for a kicker if you get a kicker you absolutely love? We don't have anybody on Baltimore right now, so we can get the best kicker in the league of Justin Tucker, who just hits bombs. But Baltimore is... Where's Baltimore? Oh, they're near the bottom on kicker strength of schedule. I don't know what to do here. I'm I'm gonna go Gus Edwards. This guy, like, somebody in my league, I remember they traded for him for like a third round pick, like right here around week 6, and then he went off for like three, technically three 21-point games in a 5-game stint, but then he got this 4 games of 17 points or more, then cooled off a little bit. But I think that he could be pretty good for the Chargers, who um, I think they're going to be good this year. I'm trying to see where everybody got picked running back wise. All right, so we're back again with some back-to-backs here. I already know what I'm doing because I don't think that anybody's going to be taken. So we need a tight end. The 5th best tight end playoff is the 5th best. Sorry, the 9th best. The 9th best playoff tight end is also a tight end on going to be a super pass-heavy team of the Chicago Bears. They got great receivers. I think that Caleb Williams is going to be okay in his freshman year, his rookie season. Cole Kmet got a lot of points last year. I think the year before that, I was like, I'm never touching this guy. And then all of a sudden, he's had games just multiple touchdowns. I was like, all right, this guy gets targets. So as long as, oh, this guy just auto picked the kicker. All right. So we're going to go with Cole Kmet here. And then on the way back, I think I'm going to do, get Brandon Cooks. Oh, so the moderator of this is making sure that I don't want to pick mine and give my pick away. I don't know, maybe this guy disconnected. Whatever, we're going to pick. So yeah, we got our tight end. He's going to have a lot of open space. He's got 3. He's got Keenan Allen. They got so many people. They got Keenan Allen. They got Rome Odunze, and what's his face from DJ Moore. Like there's gonna be so much open space for Cole to get the dink and dunk passes, the 5-10 yard gains, and then touchdown red zone looks as well. So that's gonna be a very pass-heavy team. So I'm glad I got somebody on that. So here, I can either get Brandon Cooks to complete my Dallas stack, or we can get a second tight end. Because I was looking at Patty Freiermuth, good old Patty Fry. But I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I need to get Brandon Cooks here. I'd rather have 2 solid tight ends. Because we already have 2 receivers on the bench. So I'd rather have. And my hope here is that they figure out their passing game, because Patty Fry's a legit tight end. So I'm hoping they figure out their passing games. Okay, we got our starting tight end. We have, in case the Chicago passing game implodes, we have our backup tight end. We have our bye week tight end. I don't think you can put tight ends in the flex. We have 2 flex spots here. But, yeah. I think Brandon Cooks will still be available on the way back. All right, so we're back again. Brandon Cooks was just taken 4 picks ago, which I didn't think was going to happen, but I'm not too worried about not having the Dow stack because he spreads the ball quite often to everybody that's on his team. So as long as he's getting the touchdowns and all that jazz, it's fine. It's fine. I think Patty Fry is going to be a bigger target for his team than Brandon Cooks is going to be. So what I'm going to do here in this round, I'm not going to go kicker or defense quite yet, even though they are ranked pretty high. There's only been like 2 kickers, maybe 1 kicker taken so far. What I'm going to do because of their high ranking, so I only have three, four running backs, and you only really need two. Instead of drafting more running backs, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draft the handcuffs to two of my 3 stars. The first one being Kenneth Gainwell, because my first overall pick, or my first pick in the first round, technically first round, second round, I guess, was Saquon Barkley, who is injury prone. So, and what I did is I just took Kenneth Gainwell in case he gets hurt. We have a pretty deep bench, 10 people on the bench. So there's a lot of space to get the handcuffs there. So we got Kenneth Gainwell, and also because he's a pretty good running back, and I'm afraid he's going to get scooped by one of these other teams looking to fill their bench. I'm going to get Alvin Kamara's back, handcuff, Jamal Williams. I know they also have Will Shipley, or the Eagles also have Will Shipley, who maybe he'll take over the handcuff spot, but I'm still confident Kenneth Gainwell has that spot, so I'm not too worried about it. But I know that this guy's not going to pick Jamal Williams, so I'm going to have Alvin Kamara's handcuff and Saquon Barkley's handcuff. So if either of those two guys get injured, we do have their immediate handcuffs to throw in. And I think having 4 teams running backs. So I don't know if you guys are curious about the Gus Edwards pick. I know J.K. Dobbins is ranked higher in a lot of people's rankings, but he is much more injury prone, and the average draft position of Gus Edwards has been a lot higher. I think Gus Edwards can potentially be the lead back for the Chargers here. So I'm gonna go Jamal Williams here. Get my handcuffs, so I don't have to worry about injuries for my running backs, and then I'm going to probably if there's a kicker or a defense that I through my research of the next couple minutes here, I'm incredibly in love with, then I might go them. But I think, how many receivers? I got 2 receivers on my bench. I got 1 tight end. I got 3 running backs. 2 of them are handcuffs. So I think just filling out the rest of the bench with some receivers and running backs before we go kicker defense. I also need a Dak plug for his bye week. I don't know who's going to be available. I don't know how quickly these people are going to get backup quarterbacks. A good option here for the quarterbacks to pair with Puka would be Matthew Stafford. I don't think I have any. I do have DeAndre Hopkins, so Will Levis is a possibility. Baker Mayfield, I think, has a pretty decent. Let me check quarterback playoff rankings again, because I already have the number 1 quarterback for fantasy playoffs. Will Levis is actually number 4. Not him skill set wise, but quarterbacks versing the defenses he's gonna be versing is number 4. And the Rams are 25th. And I have D-Hop, and I do think that Will can have a pretty good season. He's got a full season to be the starter now. And again, I'm not playing him to start him. But if worst case scenario, Dak gets hurt, I'm sure there's other quarterbacks I can find in free agency that are better than Will. But if Will does decide in his first full season to go off, I'd rather have him on my squad. And I believe he has... I guess he doesn't rush the ball too much. Let me see here. What do I want to... All right, so we're back. There has been a little bit of a kicker defensive run here. The kicker that had the best playoff schedule was Houston's kicker, and that was just scooped up a few picks ago. So the top 2 defenses on playoff schedule, we have the Jets at number 1 and the Dallas Cowboys at number 2. I think I lean the Cowboys, and also because I have Dak, I'll be watching that game anyway. and I don't know, they get freaking Micah Parsons is an animal. He gets so many, they get so many sacks and interceptions and even defensive touchdowns. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here for the first one. Now that there's been a little bit of a defensive run, so we don't need to worry about Jets or Eagles. And then I'm looking at the kicker strength of schedule right now. Jacksonville might be starting a rookie, so I'm not going to draft him here. But Jacksonville has the second best for those. I mean, I don't have any Dolphins yet, so I guess I can go Jason Sanders here because they have a high-scoring offense, and the Dolphins are the best team in the NFL, right? So they're going to be putting up a lot of points. Let's see. Seattle has the fifth. I already have Kenneth Walker, but Seattle has the fifth best playoff record for kickers. San Francisco, ninth best. I don't have any San Francisco players, do I? I don't think so. Let's see here. So Seattle is number 5. San Francisco is number 9. Because I don't have any other San Francisco players, I'm leaning Jake Moody here. I feel like the Dolphins just score a lot of touchdowns. They didn't really kick the field goal. All right. I don't know if I'm going to go with the kicker here or not because there's so many options. So I'm going to go with adding another running back. No, let's go receiver. Let's go Wendell Robinson. Yeah. So we got the receiver who's on the... I said he's the first overall, right? Let me check. Yeah, the New York Giants have the number 1 overall playoff strength of schedule that favors receivers. So I have the number 1 quarterback spot. I got not the second, or I got a decent receiver on the number 1 receiver spot. So I think we're looking pretty good for the playoffs here. The only thing you would worry about now is the team performing well enough during the regular season to get to the fantasy playoffs, to get the 500,000, which I'm not too worried about. It's a pretty stellar roster, if I do say so myself. We don't need to worry about Bellinger because we have 2 tight ends. So it's pretty much receiver. The next 2 picks is going to be not receiver, the backup quarterback to Dak, and a kicker. So we have plenty of time to figure out what we want to do with there. All right. So we're back, and as I mentioned before, we're going to be doing a backup quarterback and our kicker here. You see in the queue list, I put the kickers in order of their favorable playoff weeks 14 to 17. Cam Little's actually up top with Jacksonville. He's the rookie out of Arkansas. I don't think anybody's going to pick him above these other big names. So I feel like I can get the quarterback here first. As ugly as this sounds, I think I might go Danny Dimes here. Because, as I mentioned before, he has the second best playoff schedule, only to Dak Prescott as number 1. I do have Wendell Robinson as well. Who else is on? So, I mean, we got Derek Carr at number 9. I don't know. I'm gonna trust the process that I've been doing this entire time. The entire time I've been drafting to get to 500,000. So even though Danny Jones makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit, we're focusing on the $500,000 prize. So if Dak Prescott gets hurt in the playoffs, we already have the number. If Dak Prescott gets hurt, we'll have the next best starting quarterback playoff strength of schedule. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. But I really want to get my kicker here. So I think what I'm going to do kicker-wise, as So Cam Little was the #1 kicker out of his class when he graduated high school, and I think he finished with like an 85% on 88% field goals in his Arkansas career in his 3 years. He was the youngest kicker ever drafted, and there's a lot of accolades and stuff. But I don't know if you remember way back in the day, Mike Nugent kind of had all those accolades, and he sucked in the NFL. So we're gonna go with the second best option based on playoff schedule, and the guy that also kicks home games in a dome, so you don't have to worry about weather. We're gonna go with Blake here. That offense sucks though. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't suck. We have Alvin Kamara. We have Blake. I think I still might get Cam Little and put him on my bench because if he does start, but okay. A lot of mumbling here. I understand. I think I didn't want to do Jason Myers because we already have Seattle running back. And I don't want to get it to a point where I'm rooting against Kenneth Walker to get a touchdown or because I want a field goal or whatever. And if Kenneth Walker gets a touchdown, that only adds 1 point for Jason Myers. So I don't really like doing kickers of teams I have the star players in. I do have Christian Kirk on Jacksonville. So that's why I was kind of hesitant about Cam Little. I do have Alvin Kamara, but I still drafted Blake. But I did factor in the dome and the fact that New Orleans is 4th overall in kicker playoff matchup. But do we say screw the playoffs and just draft a kicker on the highest what's the word I'm looking for? The highest octane offense, regardless of playoffs. Because that would easily be Miami with the highest octane. Jason Myers is projected, but again, even though he's on the highest octane offense, the problem is that they always score touchdowns. So like this game, they had 10 touchdowns, and this guy only got 10 points because it was all extra points. So we need a high octane offense, but not an amazing offense to where we need an offense that gets inside the 20 but doesn't get into the end zone. Which I think that would be New Orleans, right? And they're in the dome. I don't know. I'm comfortable with that. You know what? We're drafting for the playoffs. No second guessing ourselves. We're drafting for the playoffs. Not for the playoffs of our league, but for the full playoffs of the championship, because we want to get that $500,000 prize. And when we do, we can go back to this video and be like, you know what? When he drafted Blake for New Orleans as his kicker, it sounded crazy. People thought he was crazy, but hey, he just won $500,000. It's always crazy until it works. We have 2 more picks left. I think receiver, running back is what we're looking at here. No. Okay, so we have the last 2 picks of the draft. I literally was about to pick Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore, and he was picked 2 picks ago. So I had a plan for that. So I know I got the backup running backs, the handcuffs, but what we didn't do is we didn't handcuff our first-round pick, which you typically don't do with receivers. So in a crazy situation where Puka gets hurt, and for an extended period of time, and I mean we have a lot of other receiver fill-ins we can put in his place, but I still want to have the next best option. So Demarcus Robinson is going to be their 3rd receiver. He's not the same kind of slot receiver as Puka, but he'll be getting more target share because he's he's not the slot, but he's going to get more target share if Puka goes out. So we're going to get him as our handcuff to Puka, and now we need a running back because we were going to get Keaton Mitchell. And I was about to click on it, but now what are we looking at here? We got Donta Foreman. Let me see here. Nick Chubb isn't ready to play, it'll be Deonta Foreman, and Jerome Ford. I think there's got to be a better running back option than that. All right, we're up to the last pick here. I'm just going to pull up some other list real quick I have. See. 50 seconds to figure out the final pick. Yeah, we'll go with Foreman. I think he's still in a situation where he can still get a lot of touches in the case that Chubb isn't healthy or he gets hurt again, because Chubb always gets hurt. But we'll go with him as our final pick. Bada bing, bada boom, ladies and gentlemen. That is our roster, as you can see here on the screen. You can see the whole thing, right? You cannot see the whole thing. Let me do this. Here. Let me pull this up. Boom. Now you can see the whole thing. So as you can see, I feel like this is a $500,000 roster because we not solely drafted, but primarily drafted based on the not the postseason NFL, but the fantasy playoffs, which is what you need to pay attention to because that's how you get the $500,000 first place prize. It's because we drafted with that in mind. We got the number 1 playoff quarterback, playoff weeks quarterback. We got the number 2 playoff weeks quarterback. We got some of the best receivers during that time. We got some of the best running backs with Saquon and Alvin Kamara being in the top 5 for the playoff schedule. I like this. I like this a lot. So, again, this is on rtsports.com. These drafts are going to be going all the way up to the kickoff of the season. Just go there. I don't think I have like a referral link or anything for you guys, so just go ahead and sign up. They're good people, and these things are fun to do. But yeah, make sure you download the PlayerProps.ai app if you don't have that, as mentioned earlier. But good luck to everybody in their fantasy seasons. If you have any questions, let me know in the YouTube comments or in the Discord that you should already be joining if you haven't yet. But good luck this fantasy season. Good luck this NFL betting season, the NFL prop season. And I can't wait to pull this up again come week 18 when I have turned this roster, this draft, into a $500,000 winner. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.